Let me talk to you.
The biggest icon in wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me talk to you.
Yes, sir. That was NXT, and that was last night's first ever NXT on the CW. Welcome, everybody. My name is Frankie Fresco, and of course, my brother. What's up, DeTrapio? How you holding up, bro?
What's up, brother? My internet right now is a little bit wackaroonies, but I'm gonna fix it right now.
You're good. I mean, even though you're like lagging a little bit, you still look pretty crisp. I like the image. The image looks pretty serious. So the image is there at least. I can still hear you. You're a little bit laggy, but it's okay. Sometimes you gotta lag around here, especially when NXT had a hell of a night last night. If you guys tuned in and you saw that, obviously you would have seen the intro. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get copyright. I don't give a damn. They'll probably try to block it. I don't give a damn because NXT always likes to block me. God damn it! So it's always a pain in the ass. But just because it's a pain in the ass doesn't mean that I'm still not gonna show it. So for you guys, for the fans, for everybody who tunes into NXT, and for you guys that tune into NXT, at least for the first what would we say? At least the first
20 minutes.
20 minutes of our show. We always talk NXT. So I appreciate all of you guys going ahead and tuning in to Let Me Talk to You, episode 41. Episode 41. We got, ladies and gentlemen, we are going for crazy enough. We're going for about a year. So in not this episode, but next episode of next week, we will officially have been doing our podcast, Let Me Talk to You, for a whole year, man. Time flies. DeTrapio, talk to me, bro. What do you think about that, bro?
Man, time flies when you're having fun, brother. Time flies when you're having fun.
Absolutely, bro. And welcome to the show, Finn Sammy. I see you in the chat board.
Sammy?
All you guys, don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, and also don't forget to share it with your friends and family. That way, more and more of you guys can tune in. And me and my brother, we always talk about crazy stuff. We talk about everything. So we go ahead. Obviously, we start the show with NXT. We started with a bang. Obviously, NXT. We'll jump into the Dolphins. We'll talk about how depressed we are. We'll talk about those pesky Canes and college football talk. And we finally will close it out with a little bit of soccer to end the night. But let's shout out to Inter Miami. They got an opportunity to win the Shield, which is very important for them because that would be that they would win the best record in the MLS. So they're currently, the game just started maybe about like 10 minutes ago. So hopefully we'll keep a track and keep you up to date with, of course, the score of that game. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about NXT and what's up, no doubt. So first and foremost, what a show last night. CW, if you guys weren't able to catch it, you missed out because the CW, bro, came with a bang. NXT with a bang. And let me show you some statistics here about last night. NXT delivers the highest viewership in over a year. So it's been over a year since they've gotten this amount of views watching NXT on a Tuesday night. I mean, technically they destroyed AEW's viewership. And remember, AEW is a bigger platform than NXT. So check this out. Their total viewers of 44% from last week. They had a peak audience of 965 views. That was during the Julia Roxanne Perez matchup. The CW Tuesday night prime time up 143% in total viewers. The strongest telecast on the CW this year among adults 18 to 49 and adults 25 to 54. Sir, they did all this last night. Nick, what do you think about this?
And this isn't shocking, man. This has been something that's been been building up for almost 2-3 years now, and they've created enough hype. And obviously, with supporting casts such as The Miz, CM Punk, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels coming out, it's something that they've been waiting for, and it's been knocked out of the park when it comes to this show. This show was really good.
Sorry, you called it, sir. What a way to start the show with the two guys running it all, NXT. And the more you guys see this, and the more you guys notice this, these two guys, this is their bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
Them. And what I mean by them is this ain't Vince McMahon, bro. These are these two guys who actually put their hard-earned sweat to get NXT to a level that NXT has never been. And they want to keep growing NXT. And yes, obviously NXT is still WWE and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is their baby. They started this and worked it, and they're pursuing it. And man, what a moment to be a wrestling fan, and a wrestling fan to the NXT world, man. Because let's keep it real, man. If you guys tuned in on Monday Night Raw was a very, very very fun show. I enjoyed last night's Monday's show, and then you got to see NXT last night, and that delivered as well. So you had back-to-back WWE shows that, if you're a wrestling fan, hell, why would you complain? This is awesome to have that. I don't know about AEW. Obviously, AEW is going on right now, so hopefully AEW keeps their end of the stick as well. But of course, they started a show, of course, with Shawn Michaels coming out, and then they didn't even announce Triple H. And Triple H just came out of the audience, and then, of course, they did their. They got two words for you. Yeah, exactly. Are you ready, sir? And it's exactly what happened. We were ready for an amazing show. And let me keep it real with you, sir. The NXT fan base, they showed out. So I got this information also off of WrestleTix, and let me pull this up here. So last night, Tuesday, there was the setup of the actual location. It held up to 7,763 seats. They were able to sell 7,089 seats. So it wasn't sold out, but they almost got there. They were a little bit, they had 674 tickets short from selling out. But I mean, you got 7,089 people who actually went to the show. And man, look at how NXT is growing. And of course, this is obviously in the CW. So it's something that you're gonna overall, at the end of the day, just gonna keep enjoying. And then you want to know what's crazy, Nick? Besides the way they started it, if you guys tuned in, if you rewind for a couple of seconds, you'll see the new video montage that they use. They went ahead with a bang too. They went ahead and they said, "Hey, we're gonna call 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne, and we're gonna go ahead and make this the official theme for NXT millions from now." So if you heard the song at the very beginning, hopefully we don't get copyrighted. But if we do get copyrighted for that minute, I have to snippet it out. And you want to hear the track? This is the actual track. 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne, two heavy hitters in the rap game, going ahead and putting their work on NXT millions from now. And you could catch that on Apple Music and Spotify. No, Apple Music is not promoting us. They're not sponsoring us, or Spotify, but shout out to both of them, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, I do use both of them when I have to DJ.
Is that Lil Wayne with a mustache?
It does look like Lil Wayne with a mustache. Maybe it's the older Lil Wayne. Remember, he's not. I don't know why he still calls himself Lil Wayne, because I mean, he isn't little. He is height-wise, he is little, but he's up there in age now.
Elder Wayne.
He is. Like, I mean, he's way older than what he was when he first got into the game. And if you guys that know about rap, Lil Wayne got into the game when he was like 14, 15 years old. And I'm gonna throw some music knowledge of Lil Wayne. Never will forget, the block is hot, sir. The block is hot. Yeah. The block is hot. One of the very first I think that was probably one of the first tracks out of his first album that he officially came out. That's when he was with Baby and Manny Fresh, and it was the whole Hot Boys. I know about all that because I used to listen to all this when I was in high school. So shout out to Lil Wayne and all them. Amazing way to start the show, obviously with a bang. You had the music, you had the new video montage, you had
The ring,
the new
looks
introduction.
beautiful, bro.
You had Shawn Michaels and Triple H out there. And sir, what better way to start NXT in the CW than with a banger of a fight? And that was, of course, Roxanne Perez versus Julia. And of course, Roxanne Perez took that dub. Now, Nick, it's so funny because I don't know if you guys saw it. For you guys that went ahead back in the TRL days, man, we missed TRL, baby. We missed it. You know what's the crazy thing about this match? It was really good. It was very entertaining. Obviously, Roxanne ended up winning, and there's a reason why she actually won. I'm gonna for you guys that tune in, you know where we're going with this. But there was a scene, and I don't know if you noticed it. They were trying to tell it. So when Roxanne Perez won and she did her finishing move, she went ahead and she got up. And I don't know what she did, bro. It was kind of like I noticed all these things, and I'm pretty sure you guys noticed it. Dude, I guess she was doing when she did her move, she did it so quickly or something that spit came out of her mouth, right? And she had like a little drip of spit right here, right? And you see the referee go to her and tell her, look, you have it. And then but the camera had gotten her for such a long time that you could see the little, it just looked a little bit nasty shit. I was like, oh man, you gotta clean that up, Roxanne. But she did win, obviously, and she retained her belt, obviously. And the funny part about all this was that, there was a reason why Roxanne Perez won. Sir, the reason Roxanne Perez won is because CW pulled out all the surprises for this show. And of course, there it is. Cora Jade. She is back in NXT, sir. What a way to go ahead and start the show by going ahead and bringing out another NXT, Cora Jade, who was previously in NXT and now she's back. And then obviously you have Julia, you have Roxanne Perez. So it was good to see all this all playing out, surprising the fans. And if you don't notice, to all the lucky men out there, I mean, come on, man. Between me and you and us, let me talk to you fans. She's a cutie, sir. So obviously it's fun to see Cora back into the NXT world. So, sir, let me ask you something. I know you told me, you mentioned me earlier before that we got on that you didn't able to catch the show. You probably catch a couple of the highlights. But, sir, were you surprised at the fact that Roxanne Perez won and that Julia unfortunately lost this? And where do you see this? Do you see maybe a connection between her and Roxanne Perez? Cora and Roxanne Perez, or is there somebody else? Remember, we spoke about La Chilena, who's going to be out there as well.
Yeah.
Talk to me, sir. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're going to go with this. I don't think NXT right now is going to directly go ahead and make this an immediate rivalry. I think this is something they're brewing up. Don't be surprised if Roxanne comes out on one of Cora's fights and either interrupts it or makes it difficult for her to make that rivalry even bigger. But definitely big surprise, big superstar coming back to the NXT, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what they'll do with this rivalry.
Absolutely, man. And no, sir, you just started, but if you do rewind, you'll see the intro to NXT was a banger, sir. Another big match that happened last night, obviously, was the street fight, sir. The street fight that everybody was talking about, the one that you said, I'm done with this. I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm done with it. I don't want to see any more Wesley. I don't want to see Zachary anymore. But, sir, I'm going to be honest with you, man. It was an entertaining street fight. These guys did really duke it out. And obviously, Wesley ended up winning. But it was fun, man. It was a very entertaining matchup. You could see all they had the trash cans, they had the chairs, they had everything, the kendo stick, they had everything, man.
The chain.
So, the chain. There was a scene, guys, where obviously if you guys tuned in, they both wrapped their hands on the chain and they both smacked each other and both went down. Kind of felt a little bit awkward because some of the fans were like, it would kind of stay quiet when that happened. So That was one thing that did happen in this matchup. But sir, talk to me, man. You were upset. You wanted this already to end. You were like, I'm done with NXT and this, issue between Zachary and Wesley. Uh, are you finally happy that this match and that this storyline is over, or do you think NXT will continue with this whole storyline?
I hope not. I think they should just stop this already. Please move on. Let Wesley do something else. Hopefully this isn't like a trilogy or a Fast and the Furious sequel where they do 9 other matches. Like, please, no more, man. I think this is something they need to. That's it. Kind of finish this chapter, move on with their lives, and see where Wesley can move on forward, because this is kind of dragging a little bit. Overall, I mean, the fight was pretty cool, but it's not my taste.
Absolutely. And then another thing that happened, I don't have an image to show you guys, unfortunately. Didn't get a chance to take one before I got on live, but the Miz did host his Miz TV. It was cool that the Miz was there. They got a reaction, and now it makes sense why the Miz double cross R-Truth on Monday night, because you wanted the Chicago fans to give the Miz very, very awful welcome, and that was obviously him getting booed out of there because he betrayed R-Truth. I was a little bit disappointed. I kind of wanted R-Truth to show up, but he wasn't there. But we did get Oba Femi. We did get, obviously, the Don going ahead, and Tony D'Angelo going ahead and talking. I'm not gonna lie to you, Nick. This was a little bit of it wasn't as exciting. I guess it was okay, but it was just them talking. So it was kind of I don't want to insult Obafemi and Tony D'Angelo, but I guess if you were watching NXT, this is the point of the show when you would probably go and take a bathroom break, in my opinion. That's just me. It was cool. They were talking, they were saying a couple of things to each other. But at the end of the day, it wasn't like such a highlight. So maybe that's another reason why I wasn't too thrilled, obviously, of this point of the actual show. But moving on, sir. So again, NXT was bringing out surprises. The next match that I wanted to talk about was, of course, Fatal Influence. Fatal Influence is Fallon Henley and JC Jane versus Jada Parker and Lola Vice. And this matchup was really good because obviously you're showcasing all these girls. They all have great talent. You want to see what kind of pop they get and all that stuff. And I've always been a huge, huge fan, Nick, of Fallon Henley. I think Fallon Henley is like she's awesome, and obviously she used to be a baby face and then they turned her into a heel. So now, sir, they went ahead and they won. And obviously you see Lola Vice knocked on the back and all that stuff. The crazy thing about this particular matchup was that Kalani Jordan was actually in commentary. So remember, all these girls are very upset, and actually they all kind of want a shot at Kalani Jordan's North American title. Well, sir, when the match was over, what ended up happening was Kalani Jordan got up from the commentary and went ahead and said, you know what? Screw you, ladies. I'll take all of you out right now. And these ladies were ready to pounce on her, of course, 3-on-1. But here, of course, an NXT delivering, of course, more and more surprises. Who does she go and say, hey, hold on a second. Before I take you 3-on-1, I brought some backup. And not other than, of course, Bianca Belair and my girl, Jade Cargill, from the main roster, making their way to NXT. Another 2 bangers coming out there to help, of course, Kalani Jordan. And you obviously, surprise after surprise. What a way to start. What a way to continue to give the fans in Chicago more and more excitement. Like, come on, man. You're getting, you got the Miz, you got CM Punk. Now all of a sudden you got Jake Cargo and Bianca Belair. Dude, this is awesome. And now, because of this, these 3 ladies will go ahead and go next week, and they will face, of course, the trio Fatal Influence. So it perfectly works out. Again, another treat for now those St. Louis fans, since the second show is gonna be in St. Louis. So Nick, talk to me, man. What you think about them bringing out Jake Cargo and Bianca Belair for this.
Like I said before, I'm a little laggy, so sorry about that. But that was a huge curveball for me. I really didn't expect Bianca or Jade to come out on the NXT scene, but it's the opening night, so they have to continue on making sure they can have the crowd engaged and make sure that people can also believe that this can be a feud that can be remembered for futures, and we'll see what Triple H and Shawn Michaels do. I've noticed that they're bringing a lot of superstars from both SmackDown and Raw just to make it feel more like, hey, the NXT is its own other thing too, So it's huge what they're doing right now, especially for this first episode on the CW.
Of course, and like I said, I think one of the I want to know, I want to see if maybe in the long run, Shawn Michaels and Triple H decide to go with this continuing run where they're bringing in superstars from the main roster, or if they're just doing this just for the first two episodes. Obviously, the one last night for Chicago, and then the one for St. Louis. But obviously, it's a strategy. Obviously, it worked, and it was a great way for NXT to go ahead and have a bang, not only for the fans that went out there, but also for the people who were tuning in. We weren't expecting Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair to show up. Of course, last but not least, we had the main event, and the main event was none other than Trick Williams versus Ethan Page. Of course, with CM Punk being the final piece of the puzzle, being the guest referee. And of course, we got what we all wanted. We wanted Trick Williams to win. And Trick Williams finally goes and beats Ethan Page, avenging his defeat. Remember, it's funny because in this matchup, they actually tried to do it again, where there was a knee to the face of Ethan Page, and Trick Williams. So Trick Williams gives a knee to the face to Ethan Page, falls down. Trick Williams, because that was like his last move before he was hurt and was gonna go down, and Ethan Page actually fell on him. And for a minute there, we actually almost thought, hey, look, it's gonna happen again, where Page is gonna win by like. In Spanish, we call it chiripa, a lazy way of winning, by luck. But obviously, this time around, Trick Williams was able to kick. And of course, he ended up winning, sir. And then at the end of the match, Ethan Page did get upset at CM Punk and got in CM Punk's face. And then obviously, CM Punk did his finishing move on Ethan Page as the night ended, and you had the whole confetti and everything for Trick Williams. What a way to go! The pop of the crowd, of course, everybody was saying whoop that Trick. Nick, man, what do you think, man? What do you think about the CW, NXT, this new era of NXT and CW?
It's showing you that right now, after seeing what Ethan Page did in his title run, they had to give the title to Trick Williams. They had to make sure that they making it very well known that Trick Williams is the face of NXT. It was never gonna be Ethan Page. I think they didn't give Trick Williams the opportunity to win the belt because they wanted to get that pop for the CW premiere. So it was very, very smart what they did. And I'm just happy to see Trick Williams having some, belts around his waist.
Absolutely, man. And then we got a new name on the chat board, Hassan Terrell. Hi there, guys. Today is my dad's birthday celebration.
Happy birthday to your father, sir.
Happy birthday to your father. Very, very exciting to have your father along. To let you guys know, I don't want to reveal too much, but me and Sean have not been doing the squared circle lately. Last night was my fault. Unfortunately, me and my brother our father had some issues and had to be at the hospital, so he had to get surgery. So we were there for him for that moment, and thankfully our father's obviously recovering. He's back home, so we're excited to see that our dad is back. So definitely that message right there kind of hits the spot for me and my brother, because me and my brother were there for our father last night when he was having his surgery. So happy birthday once again to your father, Hassan, and we'll definitely, hopefully, you were able to spend it with him today. All right, let's talk Miami Dolphins. And of course, here comes the torture. We jump from such an exciting NXT show to now the Dolphins talk, where, of course, Janum, oh Lord, of course, we fall. We lose. We lose to the Tennessee Titans, sir. I'm gonna be real honest with you, sir. I was there at the game. It was very disappointing. I'll give you this: the fan base of the Miami Dolphins. I told you this after the game, and I'll tell you guys here on Let Me Talk to You. I don't know how much I could give the Miami Dolphin fans so much credit, man. Like we look like the Dolphins give us so much crap over the years, right? They show us so much. They kind of obviously they let us down. But man, are we loyal to this team, dude. Like I was at the game, Nick, and obviously where we sit, we have season ticket holders. Some of them were not there. Obviously it's a Monday. People gotta work. Maybe some of them sold their tickets as well. You're probably gonna see that trend more often if the Dolphins keep going, in this unfortunate direction. But the people who were around me, the season ticket holders, man, and just the fans in general, like that stadium was packed. That stadium had hope. We even with Tua out, this fan base was there to support the Miami Dolphins. And yes, you do see Miami fans walking out once we saw that the game was kind of out of hand. I stayed for most of the game, but Nick, when the Dolphins scored that touchdown, the Miami Dolphin fans went wild, just scoring touchdown, and we were out of that game already. Like there was like, there. I mean, if we would have hit the 2-pointer, it would have been an 8-point game. But man, I'm just shocked at how much loyalty we give this team and how much brutally, like how
Yeah.
much they punch us in the gut every single time with their play, with their mistakes that they do. I know I'm ranting. Talk to me, sir. What you think about that game and how do you feel?
I was to all the listeners out there and viewers, I was at New York this weekend, just passed. Shout out to my boy Nick. I was just chilling over there, kind of, visiting the city. It was really nice. But obviously on Monday night, I'm flying back. You know me, I can't miss the game, so I had to pay the Wi-Fi package for the airplane. You know me, and I was watching that game, and man, it was not pretty. There was I'm not gonna lie to you, there was a lot of people on the plane that were also watching the game, and
Wow.
um it just shows you, like you said, that we have a fan base that the Dolphins do not take into consideration, and having to see that game, having to see Snoop Huntley kind of just not being in sync with the offense, and just seeing the play calling from Mike McDaniel being super conservative, and the O line, it was just the only bright spot that I can think of is just the defense. And obviously we'll touch base about that. But man, it was a tough game to watch, honestly. It was not something that I would want any Dolphin to go through.
Yeah, and no doubt mention something there. Jalen Phillips is out for the season. Another injury to this team, another blow. Steven Gonzalez says every year is the same shit. I'm kind of numb to all this already, to be honest. I get you, and then no doubt says it better than anybody else. They gave us hope, and they peed in our soup. They did, bro. And not only did they pee on our soup this week, they might pee on the soup for a couple of more games this season. So let me show you something, guys. Obviously, you guys probably saw this, but I'm still gonna share it with you. And of course, it's our guy Mike McDaniel, who is trending in the wrong direction. Life without Tua. So Mike McDaniel is 1-6 without Tua Tagovailoa. The Dolphins, the last two games, 2 for 22 on third down, 0 for 5 on fourth down. That's a conversion rate of 0.07. The Dolphins are 2-8 on primetime night games. So not only do the Dolphins suck, but they tend to suck even more when it's primetime. And then we have gotten outscored 257 to 169 in those games, on those primetime games. Nick, talk to me, man. We all know that the conversation this past week, everybody, we've been listening to everybody, right? We've been listening to TD Finch talk. We've been listening to Dougie. We've been listening to Omar Kelly with Hyde. We've been listening to Poopart. We've been listening to Big O. We've been listening to who else is out there? Anybody, all those dolphin creators, all those dolphin
Barry
YouTubers,
Jackson.
Barry Jackson, this guy, Chris Perkins, Marcel Louis Jacques,
Cam Wolf.
Cameron Wolf. Do I gotta keep naming more and more? Hopefully not. Talk to me, sir. What's going on here, man? Everybody's blaming Mike McDaniel. Everybody's blaming Chris Greer. Let me get your take. What do you think about this Miami Dolphin team? And right now, are you blaming anybody for this? And lastly, what do you think the Dolphins should do?
Man, I gotta blame Chris Greer, man. I can't blame Mike McDaniel yet. You know, Mike McDaniel has brought in us positivity, has brought in us offensive play. I know it hasn't been clicking lately. I know his in-game adjustments haven't been the cleanest. There's been a lot of sloppy play. But at the end of the day, you and I spoke about it, and man, Chris Greer, it has to start with Chris Greer. He's the guy who set up the culture. He's the guy who set up the personnel. And then from there, it went down to the trickle effect of drafting players, setting up this team. And man, the vision he had, it was there, but it's just not clicking. This is one season where I thought we were gonna continue on what we were doing the past 2 seasons. And it's just feeling like another big disappointment. Like I told you before, this fan base is hungry for success, for some sort of, playoff win contention, and right now it's not looking pretty, man. And I gotta blame Chris Greer. Chris Greer, he's the guy who's been calling all the shots. I know he's not the guy who calls the plays or tells the personnel, hey, this is what you got to do, but at the same time, he's the one who created the culture. He's the one who created the staff. And to be honest with you, man, it's not looking good, bro. And one thing for sure that's biting them in the ass too is that comment he made a couple of weeks ago about, yo, you guys are more worried about the O-line than we are, and that's just biting them in the ass. And so for sure right now, man, you know me, I'm a diehard Dolphins fan, so I'm still gonna have some sort of hope. Hopefully, we can scratch out a win against these pesky Patriots, and then move on from there and see what we can do. But for now, I gotta blame Chris Greer.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Hold on, let me see if I still have it. And I was trying to find a couple of things, a couple of notes that I had, but I don't think I have it. I don't know where I might have placed them, but it's the notes of all the draft picks that Chris Greer has done. And I agree with you 100%. I think the issue with the Miami Dolphins starts with Chris Greer. Why not? Chris Greer is the person who has made these blunders. Obviously, you draft pick Tua Tagovailoa, you draft pick injury prone players, you hire the wrong coaches. It's been mistake after mistake after mistake. Brian Flores was a mistake on his eyes, and Brian Flores is now flourishing as a defensive coordinator. You had Mike McDaniel, the vision with Mike McDaniel, and now we're realizing that Mike McDaniel is not the answer either. Now, I told you, who am I going to blame? I start with obviously Chris Greer. That guy needs to go. It's unfortunate, but he hasn't gotten the job done. And I think one of the things I've come, and we spoke about this last night when we were at the hospital, we basically went and said, Chris Greer has been with this organization. What year was it, Nick? 2000 and do you remember? It was like somewhere around two.
He's been part of this organization since 2002, man.
So, okay, so let's write this down. So, guys, I want you to realize what we're going to say here. So, he's been with the Dolphins since 2002, right? Chris Greer. And during this time that the Miami Dolphins have been, obviously, different GMs have been around, right? We've had
Jeff Ireland.
Jeff Ireland was a one. We had
Dennis
Obviously,
Hickey.
Dennis Hickey was another one. We had Chris Greer, obviously. Mike Tannenbaum is another one that was out there as well. So if you start researching these guys and you start looking at them and you look at what they actually drafted and they produced on the field, it has been a losing culture type of vibe all these years. It has been trash. And if you kind of look at it, I know there's people that say, hey, you don't know, you can't blame Chris Greer because he didn't start the GM position until what was it? I think 2016, 2016. But this is what I told my brother. I said to him, just like in any job, right? So I used to work in a car rental company. And when I used to work at a car rental company, I started on the very bottom, but I had my manager. And who did I shadow? I shadowed my manager. So I wanted to become the branch manager of that store. And the only way I'm going to become the branch manager of the store is by shadowing other people. And who am I going to shadow? The people that work around me. Who am I going to shadow? The people who actually are in that position that I want to get to. Well, I believe Chris Greer probably did the same thing. So if you start looking at his shadowing, he was shadowing Jeff Ireland, he was shadowing Dennis Hickey, he was shadowing Mike Tannenbaum. So this was a car that was ready to get into an accident eventually, because look at the examples that you have on how to, be a GM for the Miami Dolphins. It's been trash. From day one, it's been trash. So like his examples, his like people that he was looking up to was straight trash. And now we know he's trash. He's not, he's done the wrong mistakes. So it's just like, it's an accident ready to happen no matter what. And we're finally, as Dolphin fans, seeing it happen. And it's devastating because, again, man, like I told you at the beginning of the segment of the Dolphins, we are diehard Dolphin fans. You don't know how hard it was for me to sit there, watch that game, and continuously see Tyler Huntley not be able to do anything, continuously see the Miami Dolphins go on and on fourth down and not do anything. Tyreek Hill didn't even try to pick up that ball when it was, considered a lateral. It was just bad, man. And to the point that when I'm sitting there at the stadium and I'm devastated, I'm like looking, and I had two Tennessee Titan fans sitting right next to me. And when the game started, I told them, I was like, so who should we be afraid of the Tennessee Titans? You want to know what they told me? They told me nobody, because we suck. So their fan base knows that they suck. The sad thing is that
they have offensive pieces. They have Calvin Ridley, they have Tyler Boyd, they had DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, they had Tony Pollard, but yes, they weren't the best either.
But Nick, when you look at that team and you look at the Dolphins and you look at the talent, come on, man. We should have smoked them. We should have been in Seattle. We should have beaten Tennessee, especially since last year, right? Mike McDaniel was able to do his magic of losing to the Chargers that one year. And then the following year, hey, first game of the season, we were able to beat them. So he made the necessary changes in order for the Dolphins to be successful. This time around, Tennessee beat us last year, which I believe was on Thursday Night Football. And then he goes again and he loses this time around on Monday Night Football. So he did absolutely nothing. So then what is the answer? What are we getting from this Miami Dolphin team? Are we getting a coach that actually knows how to put his foot down and tell him, yo, man, you need to run this show. You guys need to listen to me. You guys need to do this. You need to go do that. You guys screw it. Because I mean, I heard Chris Perkins, and Chris Perkins was saying that this is the first team in a very long time that he feels that the players have more autonomy than the actual coach. The players are saying, yo, we run this shit. This ain't Larry Coker and that UM team. I hate UM. But this ain't Larry Coker. Are you telling me? Because remember, that UM team was that, hey, all the team was running the show and Larry Coker was just a guy in the middle. Are you telling me that Mike McDaniel is that? Mike McDaniel is Larry Coker? Because Larry Coker back then, he was like, I don't know, I think he was in the 50s or 60s or I don't know. He was old. Mike McDaniel's not that old. You're telling me that Mike McDaniel's and Larry Coker? Is that what you're telling me? Where the team is just so talented, let them run and do whatever the hell they want. But then at the end of the day, we're getting a different result. That Kane team won, and obviously it's college football. But this Dolphin team is falling in his face straight up, stabbing us in our heart, behind our backs. They're not even stabbing us behind our back. They're doing it right in front of our faces. They're stabbing us right in the face, in our heart, and then peeing on our soup, sir. Just like No Doubt said.
You know what? You know what? You know what gets me, man. This is where I can't understand. How is it that Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel saw Tim Boyle, Mike White, and Skylar Thompson as like, yes, these are the guys who are gonna back up Tua whenever, if ever, he's ever down. I don't even think they planned that far. They thought Tua finally found his ways. He's not gonna put himself in dumb situations. He's not gonna get injured, and we're just gonna fully just put our chips on Tua. And if something happens, we'll think about it at that moment. But that's how I feel because, bro, Mike White gone. Skylar Thompson did not look good at all against Seattle. And then can you blame Snoop Huntley? The guy just pulled up to his new team 2 weeks. Like, nah, you can't expect him to do magic, especially with this offense that Mike McDaniel has. Like, I don't know how much more he needs to dumb it down or make the playbook simple. But please, bro, you gotta find something. You gotta find something to click for that guy because he's not a bad QB. But I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw Snoop Huntley throw that football, it was like a right-handed Tim Tebow, bro. That shit looked ugly, bro. I'm sorry.
Right-handed team. Let me tell you something, Nick. It's obvious that there's a lot of questions on this Miami Dolphin team. Fourth down, you do a stupid end around with Tyreek Hill. They already know that we were running, and they stopped them. You could see that McDaniel doesn't have any confidence on this O line, and Chris Greer. The whole thing about, hey, you guys have more concern than we do, and started cracking up and all that stuff. It's because he always thought, hey, Tua is the type of quarterback that is like throw it in what 2 point something seconds before they could even touch him. So that's why we don't care. That's why we could take it easy on the O line. We don't have to focus on the O line because we get the ball out so quickly. Here's the issue. Teams in the past 3 years, well, 2 years, and obviously this season, have so much video on the Dolphins that they figured them out. They said, hey, look, you know what? Let's crowd the middle and put 2 high safeties in the back, and you're not going to beat us with the long ball, and you're not going to beat us in the middle. Figure it
Yeah,
out, Tua. Figure
literally,
it out. And the
literally
sad
the first year, Tua was eating up between the numbers. Then the second year, they're like, all right, we're gonna cover the middle and let Tua throw outside the numbers. And then it was working out for us for a little bit. Then the run game was improving. And then when we finally had a pretty decent O line with Robert Hunt, Isaiah Wynn, Connor Williams, Austin Jackson, and Torrin Armstead, we were running the ball very efficiently. But now that we downgraded an on line and they know that Tua is not the best outside the numbers and he eats inside the numbers, you're right. They're just gonna put a 2 high safety, crowd the middle, and just look for Tua and see what his first read is, and just figure it out right there.
You know, the other thing that like annoys me with the Miami Dolphins is, a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, we were the youngest team in the NFL. Now we're one of the oldest. That means that we drafted guys and we let them walk. We also went ahead and started getting players outside of to kind of compensate for like areas that we needed opportunity. I told you this, Nick. If you guys tuned into that Jets um Denver Bronco game, did you see who caused that fumble on the Jets? That was our
No.
boy. That was our boy Brandon Jones from
Wow.
back in the day.
Wow.
That last season, one of the Brandon Jones that remember he was Brian Floyd was able to use him blitzing every single time, and he created that fumble. And I look at him and I'm like, there you go, another Miami Dolphin player leaving the Dolphins and excelling in a different team. And this is the frustrating part. Again, Van Ginkel, you let that guy walk. And then, a lot of you guys are not TD Fans Talk fans, but if you listen to him, he has a lot of solid points sometimes. Obviously, he's a very negative guy when it comes to Dolphins, but I think I think sometimes he could be very negative because that's just how he is. But some of his points, if you actually do listen to him, sometimes make sense. He was pointing out a couple of things that I was like, wow, he makes a good point. Let's talk about Gesicki. Gesicki is getting paid what, I think it was 2.2, 2.24 million. And then we go and we get Jonnu Smith, and we got him for 2 years, and he's averaging each year about 4.8 million. Why did we pay more money for a Jonnu Smith and not bring back like a Gesicki or keep Gesicki? Like I don't get this. Like, you have dumb decisions when it comes to who you're bringing in on the team, and it's like, yo, like, it's nonchalant. Like, who cares? Like, I don't give a damn. Like, you know we have holes, but we'll be able to patch them up. And it's starting to hurt us really, really bad, because now teams are figuring us out. We're much older, we're easier to get injured, we're easier to get beat. And then you guys, here's what I hate about you, about some of the Dolphin fans. And Nick, you were one that was talking about it. You were saying, hey, I love this defense, and this defense is quality and all that stuff. Nick, I like Anthony Weaver, but just because I like Anthony Weaver doesn't mean this defense is better. This defense is less talented than the previous defenses. If you look at it, there was a couple. We still have issues trying to get to the quarterback. There was one point when Levy was out there for like hours, and I was like, "Holy crap, get to him, bro!" Like, even the people around me, we started cracking up. I said, "Bro, this guy has a whole day to fucking throw the ball. What is this shit?" Like, I can't do this anymore. I can't watch this team. I told my brother after the game, I said, "Look, man, you're going to the next game. Take whoever you want to take, because I'm not going to these games. Like, I can't see this team. This team is annoying me. It's frustrating me, because I'm like, dude, I have so much expectation." And think about it, guys. Look at the drastic fall. Like, it hasn't been like, yo, we dropped maybe a game or two, and now instead of having 10 or 11 wins, now all of a sudden we have 9 or 8. I honestly feel, Nick, to be honest with you, we'll probably win maybe 4 games or 5 games this whole season. That's it. And we did the math. We did the rest of the season, the rest of the schedule, and we basically said, hey, look, this is who they technically have a shot, but we don't even know that, because at the end of the day, there's a very good chance that even when Tua does decide to come, they're still gonna suck. Because if you look at it, when Tua plays against hard competition, he is not a difference maker either. He is struggling with this offense. The offense doesn't do all he could do is do a long ball. And if we get lucky, there you go. Tyreek Hill catches one, or Jalen Waddle catches one. But just because he gets like 1 or 2 long balls doesn't mean that this offense is ready to compete against any team out there, man. We're just getting lucky. If you kind of look at it, we got lucky with Jacksonville. And Jacksonville is 0-4.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I mean, it's crazy how 1 year can make such a difference. Last year around this time, week 4, we had lost against the Bills, but shit, we were 3-1. And now the year comes by, same shit. We lose against the Bills, and we're now instead 1-3. I've told you before, the season is not over yet. We still have a shot. Maybe things can turn around if we're able to pick up the pace against the Patriots. If we're able to be 2-4 before Tua, after Tua's IR is done, I think Tua can have some sort of wiggle room to be up either a 500 or above 500. And then you and I agreed that right now the AFC is kind of like in a weird stage, because everyone is kind of losing. You have teams like the Cincinnati Bengals who are 1-3. You got the who else? You got the Chargers who are 2-2. You got the Jets who they were thinking of making a big splash are 2-2. You got teams that are kind of still doing the same thing. Chiefs undefeated, but they're undefeated with the refs. You have the Houston Texans who are 3-1. So you just got a lot of teams right now that I know it's still early, but a lot of teams already have a couple of L's on their chalkboard. So hopefully, maybe with 9 wins, we're able to squeeze in a wild card. But again, we're I'm sounding like a broken record. Why does it always got to be, oh, we can squeeze in into the wild card, or oh yeah, we're gonna find a way to win 9 or 10 games? When is it gonna be where I can feel like, no, this game, nah, bro, we're gonna win the division? Or, oh, what? Yeah, no, we got a good enough team to beat the Buffalo Bills, because clearly the Bills were better last year than this year. But even with what, and I'm impressed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm impressed with what the Bills have done when it comes to adjusting to their offense. But at the same time, I can't really say that they're right now a team that can contend, due to the fact that they've played some very weak opponents. They've played against us, who have not been playing really well. We've been playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who is not really playing really well either. They finally faced a tough opponent in Baltimore, and a hostile crowd in Baltimore, and they weren't able to finish the job. So hopefully, maybe eventually, if we're able to split these 2 games, we can make something happen. But clearly, right now, injuries are also rattling us. And that's another thing. Chris Greer keeps picking these guys with injury history, man. First with Jalen Phillips, with the Achilles. Now he's out with the knee injury for the rest of the season. So who's gonna pick up the slack? Is it gonna be Mo Kamara? Is it gonna be Bo Chop? I'm not sure, but I don't want to sound corny, but we just gotta take it week by week, man, and see what we can do from here.
Like this is the thing. So if you look at the schedule that we got left, we're 1-3, right? So the next game is New England. If we lose that one, if looking at the next game, so we got New England lose by, we got Indianapolis loss because obviously Tua's not around, and then Tua will probably come back for the Arizona. So looking at it as in a positive fashion, when Tua comes back, technically we could beat that Arizona team because we're playing them in Arizona. So that would be 2 wins. We lose to Buffalo. We lose to the Rams because that's prime time. We beat the Raiders because that's on a regular at home and it's a regular game. So that's 3 wins. We might beat the New England Patriots at home. That will be 4 wins. Then we lose to Green Bay because that's prime time. We go against the Jets. I don't think we're gonna beat the Jets at all. I think we lose back. We lose both games, the one at home and away. We have Houston, we have San Francisco, we have the Cleveland Browns, and then obviously we end the season with the Jets away. I'm just taking into account what I just finished saying. I have 4 wins the whole season. That's what I have. And if I asked you a question, where do we go from now? For me, I say you tank, bro. Screw that. You tank. You tank. Maybe not purposely. You still try to do what you can, but you tank, bro. You tank because first and foremost, we've already seen this record. They're not gonna fire Mike McDaniel. They just gave that guy an extension. They're not gonna
Yeah.
fire Chris Greer because Chris Greer is gonna probably tell Stephen Ross, "Hey, look, Stephen, Mr. Ross, this is our first season that we had to face some adversity. This is the first season that Mike hasn't delivered. We got to give him an opportunity. We're not going to win all the time. Tua got hurt, so that hurt us. We had a couple. We didn't have OBJ to begin the season. He could use the excuse of Jalen Phillips again got hurt. And then he'll point out the positives. He'll say, "Hey, look, Calais Campbell was a good pickup. He'll probably stay around. The linebackers haven't been doing so bad for the Dolphins. They are doing pretty decent, So he'll point out the positives, and Stephen Ross will be like, "Okay, Chris Greer, we'll give you until next year." And then once next year starts, so my idea is you tank. If you get 4 wins this season, I think the Dolphins would at least finish with maybe hopefully a top 5 pick in the draft, and you draft a quarterback. And now you move on from Tua. Not only because I don't believe Tua is the right player to lead this team to a Super Bowl, but I just feel that our offensive scheme is so focused on reading your first read, spot throwing here, motion that. We need a quarterback where you don't do all that crap. You just need a quarterback that's just look at Aaron Rodgers. You see Salah. Salah sucks as a coach. But because Aaron Rodgers is such a freaking fucking crazy ass mind quarterback, you see him look and be like, okay, I could do this, I could do that, I could say, and he knows his hand, he knows his capabilities as a quarterback. He'll like, yo, I'm gonna throw it here, I'm gonna throw it there, I'm gonna take it. Their defense, even though they struggled against the Broncos, looks 20,000 times better when they played against New England. It's only a matter of time. You need a quarterback that's able to do that. You need a quarterback that's able to do that. And yes, your guys are gonna tell me, Frankie, there's no guarantee that we're gonna find somebody like that. But fuck it. Fuck it. Do you really think 3-4 more years with Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, and Tua Tagovailoa, we're gonna win anything? No, we're not, guys. We're not. We're gonna be a middle of the pack team. And I know you guys are gonna be like, yo, Frankie, you always bash on Tua. You're such a Tua hater. I'm not a Tua hater. I just know that Tua is a good quarterback, but he isn't good enough to go ahead and get us to the promised land. Because at the end of the day, if you guys are satisfied by just making the playoffs and winning one playoff game, then Tua's your man. Because I honestly feel that Tua, probably, if you do some other things, maybe he'll lead you to the playoffs and maybe he'll get you a playoff win. I'm not. I'm not a Dolphin fan that just wants playoff wins. I want to win. And the only one you're gonna, I don't ever see Tua being able to go ahead and beat a Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, even this guy, Brock Purdy. I don't see it. I just don't see it. He's not going to lead us to, if he was to lead us to a Super Bowl, I would be shocked. I'll be shocked as hell that he leads us to a Super Bowl. I'm being dead ass serious.
What was tricky is that I believe Tua has the talent and the capability of taking us to the Super Bowl, but everything, all our chips have to be stacked correctly, man. Like, it has to be a perfect scenario, a scenario where things are favored for us, and we don't need that. We need a quarterback where look at Kansas City, bro. Adversity after adversity, and they're able to go right ahead, and Patrick Mahomes is able to figure out to win. And it's clearly my opinion, and what the Dolphins should do is, honestly, like you said, kind of, I don't want to say purposely tank, but this team is not good, man. And I feel like they should kind of focus on the future. They notice that Tua's not the guy. They know that Tua's in. He's one concussion away from having a documentary about fucking concussions and CTE and shit. And
Yeah.
so it's like, I if I were the Dolphins, obviously I would cut ties with Chris Greer, because clearly this isn't his first regime. This is his second regime. This guy has gone through Adam Gase. This guy has gone through Brian Flores. This guy has gone through Mike McDaniel, Vic Fangio. Bro, it's like, no, man, it's time for him to go. And I think the Dolphins should pick a quarterback, develop him, have him behind Tua for 2 years maybe, and then that third year, when Tua, and the third year of his extension that Tua has, let him go, or put him as a backup, and then that's it. Let his contract ride, and that's it. Thank you, Tua, for your services, but your career here is over.
You know something? No doubt you said this, and I want to bring this up. You said, what are you talking about? Rodgers had one good game this year. He has been hot garbage. You want to know something? That's one game. The Dolphins have had straight up 4 garbage games. Even that first game against the Jacksonville Jaguars was straight up trash. Was straight up trash. And let's keep this in mind. The Jets have shitty ass receivers. Imagine if you would have put in Rodgers with Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. Can you picture that? And they haven't been running the ball really well because Brees Hall has been struggling. And they have that backup running back that hasn't been doing that, has been doing a lot better than Brees Hall, but they're relying heavily on Brees Hall. But what are you talking about, man? We literally haven't gotten a single good game out of 3 quarterbacks. Literally 3 quarterbacks. I'll take that one. You guys are willing to go ahead and say, I'll take that one playoff game win. I'd rather take Aaron Rodgers with that one really good game performance right now, because right now 3 different quarterbacks we've had on the field and they all look lost. And again, I don't want to only blame the quarterback, because Tyron, I can't blame Snoop Huntley, because the guy's only been here 2 weeks. You probably do a little bit better this week. But I can't blame that kid. Can I blame Skyler? Maybe a little bit. I'm gonna blame him because obviously what he shows on the practice, he shows something completely different. But when he goes out there, he chokes. So I'm also gonna blame him for not having the cojones and being like, look, man, I'm a big boy. I've been in the league for 3 years. Let me, or 2 years. No, 3 years. 3 years. This is third year. So let me, you know, I need to be ready for this crap. This is not my first hurrah. I was in a playoff game against the Buffalo Bills. Why the hell would you be freaked out playing in Seattle? I know they have that loud crowd, but why should you care? Like, you're a freaking football player. You're a freaking you've been in worse, colder situations. That Buffalo game was not easy. That game was hostile territory, and we know because we were there. Me and Nick were there, so we know how that atmosphere was because we were at that game watching it. We flew over there to go watch it. So, of course, I'm gonna blame Skyler for his shitty ass performance as well. But then I also go ahead and I look at, of course, our coach. And then when we look at our coach, I'm like, God damn it, why can't you just go ahead and make plays where there is no motion? We spoke about this, right, Nick? Do you have to run motion when you're gonna run the fucking football? There's times when they're running the player and they're doing a run play. And I'm like, why the hell are they running a player? Who are they trying to deceive? Everybody's lined up to run the football and you're running motion. For what? To get another penalty out of it? That makes no freaking sense. You go and you do blunders by going ahead and just not correcting anything. It's fourth down, and the first thing you do is, hey, you know that little route, that front route that is slanted in? That's that play that they always do to Tyreek Hill. Everybody knows it because us fans even see it. Throws it right there, incomplete. Why? Because the defense already knows that that's where you're gonna go. And notice this: the plays where Jalen Waddle dropped that ball, where was the ball going? Down the middle, right? Because that's supposedly the sweet spot. Whenever there's an opening in the middle, that's where you throw it because that's where the Dolphins feed off of. You never see the Dolphins feed off of the ends. You never see them do slant routes to the corners because you don't have a quarterback that could actually throw to that side, perfectly land it on that spot and be like, damn, I got it. He got it. Perfect move. You don't have that. You just don't. And it's frustrating because at the end of the day, you're seeing an incompetent quarterback. You're seeing not quarterback, I mean coach. You're seeing a coach that doesn't know what the hell he's doing out there. He looks like he's crying all the time. You have Tyreek Hill in the back yelling and screaming, upset. That guy's gonna blow up. You're gonna go ahead and have Tua. God forbid the guy comes back, gets hit again, and then he's gonna get freaking concussed again. I mean, dude, if you add all these things up, man, we're the laughing stock of the NFL. Literally, the laughing stock of the NFL. We are laughed at by everybody. At this point right now, guys, I feel like we're worse than the Dallas Cowboys. The only reason Dallas has more people like laugh at them than they laugh at us is because of them being, bigger. Their stadium is bigger, their fan base is bigger, and all that stuff. And obviously their owner's more well known than our owner. I think that's the only reason why. But besides that, if you didn't have the Dallas Cowboys, if Dallas Cowboys were actually a decent team this year, we would be the laughing stock of the NFL right now because we suck and we are not haven't done anything. And it starts with our GM, it continues with our coach, and then it continues with our players, where the players just don't care. And it sucks, man, because the defense, look, man, I told you, the defense is not the greatest, but at least they're showing heart, man. I saw when Jalen Ramsey was making those tackles. I saw when Calais Campbell was knocking those balls out. Jalen Phillips injured. I remember that play where Jalen Phillips jumped up and knocked the football down. The crowd went wild. That's when momentum went on our side. Dude, these guys were putting in, the defense is putting the work and the effort, but the offense just can't figure shit out. And it's just annoying, bro. It's annoying and it's frustrating. I'm sorry I'm ranting here, but
No, it's okay. It's okay.
you can understand my frustration, bro. You can hear my frustration. It's just bad. Steven Gonzalez says he's also a 7th round pick. I understand that, dude. I know that he's a 7th
But he's
round
been
pick.
with us for 3 years, man.
Come on, dude. Show something, dude. Like
3
I'm
years,
gonna blame him too, man. Like you're not the same quarterback when you got here as a rookie. Let's just keep it real. Chad says, Frankie, it's a combination of everything. Players, coach, upper management. It's a team effort to be trash. Oh, absolutely, man. The whole team. We should change this logo and just put a trash can because that's what we are right now. Thank you. Stop the motion. Stop the motion. Just cut it out. Exactly, man. I'll never forget when Dougie did the film breakdown of the last game. There was that one throw where Skyler was going deep on the Hail Mary for right before halftime, and you see him act like he's gonna pitch it to the running back. There's 0 time on the clock. You're in the 40-yard line of your own territory. You know you're gonna throw a helmet. Who the hell are you trying to fake? What is that? Like, it makes no fucking sense. Why are you? Those crucial seconds mean so much because our O line is so trash. Every minute, every second counts for us. Like, stop it, bro. And then his answers and the way he talks in the press conference, Mike McDaniel. I told you, Nick. I told you that if the Miami Dolphins lose against Tennessee, I was quitting on Mike McDaniel. I said, yo, it's time to move on from that guy. And he lost bad. And you know what? That's why you still believe in him.
I still believe in him.
He's out, bro. In my eyes, get that guy out of here, bro. He sucks.
I still believe in him because it's not his fault he got tied with Tua, you know? And I believe if you give him one more shot with a good quarterback, maybe like a Jared Goff or a Matthew Stafford, that type of tier quarterback, I think he can cook, man. But with Tua, look, we've never heard Mike McDaniel say, look, I'm going to help develop Tua to be an X, Y, and Z player. You feel me? He's pretty much has said, hey, I'm going to focus on what Tua can do, and I'm literally going to zero out what he can do and just focus on that. And it's bit him in the butt. And now I think right now he needs to realize that he needs to do something, man. Maybe, man, it's tough, but maybe it's time for us to just, like I told you, man, tank and get a good quarterback, or get get a really good draft pick and trade for it for a good quarterback right now in the NFL. But we gotta fit Mike McDaniel with a decent quarterback.
But Nick, this is the problem. Tua Tagovailoa has been the quarterback for this team. When Tua is not on the field and you have Skyler, or you have Huntley, or you had Teddy Bridgewater, or you've had who else has been on the Boyle? When you've had all these guys, it's the same freaking type of offense. You have not gone ahead and changed it up. You don't use your forte. You don't go ahead and scheme to the quarterback's ability. You know, hey, this quarterback does this. Let me switch up the play. Let me do something different. He doesn't do that. So if you trade for, let's say, a Matthew Stafford, let's say you trade for the kid from the Carolina Panthers, if you trade for any of those guys, it's Mike McDaniel is not going to scheme a new playbook for that quarterback. He's going to use the exact same plays that he uses for Tua Tagovailoa. So no matter what quarterback you put under this same scheme, teams are going to know what we're running. It doesn't matter because you could be Tom Brady back there. But if you're running the same stupid plays where you're like, hey, look, we're going to go ahead and try to do the long pass, or we're going to go down the middle, teams are going to scout us and be like, yeah, they could have Tua back there. They could have Skyler. They could have Tom Brady. They could have whoever they want. They could even have Patrick Mahomes back there. If they're going to run the same goddamn scheme for every single quarterback that we have there, they're going to stop us. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to achieve anything. That's the problem.
What Mike McDaniel has to do now moving forward is he needs to involve the tight ends, man. If you've noticed, man, he hasn't done anything with the tight ends. And when he's tried to involve with the tight ends, he's made some pretty bad decisions, like throwing it on third down at goal line to Durham Smythe. Like, then why did we pick up Jonnu Smith, right? Like, I thought he was the type of guy. Like, you see how when they do that slant route and they have that zone coverage for Tyreek Hill to kind of pretty much move up straight forward, why won't they do that with Jonnu Smith? He's a bigger guy. He's a guy who creates yards after the catch. He's the type of guy who can flourish off of first contact. Like, please, like, start involved and for the love of God, stop using Julian Hill. Julian Hill is not I'm not sure why he keeps using Julian Hill I guess for blocking abilities, but please just use them for blocking. But for anything else, just don't put them out there to run routes. You have John Smith. That's who you picked up, and we'll see. We'll see if maybe he involves the tight ends just a little bit more. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, when we had tight ends like Mike Gesicki, we were cooking, bro. We were cooking. So hopefully, hopefully, what do you think about this week? Now that we've kind of got ourselves kind of vented how trash this organization is right now, how the things is not working out for us. What do you think? Now that we're gonna think about this week by week, do you think the Dolphins have enough to make the adjustments to go to Foxborough and defeat the Patriots?
All right, so I was looking for something online, and I think I found something I want to share with you guys. So let me share this with you guys. That way you could see what I'm talking about. And of course, this is to answer your question, Nick. So let me try to zoom in a little bit here. So we're gonna go ahead. I think this is the right one based on, so this is Sunday, October 2024. Yeah, Miami Dolphins at New England efficiency stats. So if you look at some stuff, and let's focus on the offensive side, right? So on the offensive side, you see here that the Miami Dolphins average about 30-47. New England Patriots average 29-4. So they both suck. They run the same amount of plays, 62-60. The yards are kind of the same. Dolphins, it favors them. Rushing yards, technically, the Patriots run better. Passing yards, the Dolphins have a little bit more. Completion, Dolphins have a little bit more. QB sacked, the Dolphins get sacked more. Oh, I'm sorry, get sacked less than the New England Patriots. Completion rate, just a little bit better, the Dolphins. I'm just looking points. The Patriots are averaging better points than we are. First down plays, Dolphins do better. Third down conversions, it's pretty much even. Fourth down conversions, the Patriots have 67, Dolphins have 50. These teams are very, very equally matched. Very equally matched. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. And when we look at the defensive side, again, like if you're looking at the stats, sacks kind of the same. Let's see, interceptions thrown. Dolphins have thrown. I guess the Dolphins have gotten more interceptions. Let me see anything else. Opponents' first down plays. They're pretty even. Third down conversions. The Dolphins have hold the team a little bit better on third down than New England Patriots. So statistically, they kind of match pretty well. They're both two garbage ass teams. Let's just keep it real. They're both garbage. They're not good. I gotta give it to the Patriots. Why? Because they're home. That's the only reason why. If this was in Miami, maybe. But even that's what I thought with the Tennessee Titans. I thought
Same.
I thought we were gonna. I told you. You saw my prediction. My prediction with the game
Field goal game.
was a
I
field goal
remember.
game. It was 12. I think I said 12-9 or 12-6 is what I said. Because I didn't think either team was gonna score touchdowns. I thought they were just gonna kick field goals. And at one point, it
Yep.
was just that field goals. I don't see the Dolphins winning, man. I'm sorry. I just don't. The Dolphins offense sucks. And the defense can only do so much. So I have the Dolphins losing. I think the Dolphins lose to New England in a really crappy ass game. I say New England beats us 21-6.
Sir, you're gonna call me delusional, man, but I think Mike McDaniel is gonna find a way to right his wrongs. He's gonna help Snoop Huntley dumb down this playbook, because when you saw Snoop, that guy had an encyclopedia on his wrist when it came to the play calling of his little playbook that he had on his wrist. The guy had like an encyclopedia. But I think the Dolphins will make some sort of adjustments offensively, because defensively, even though the Dolphins haven't faced really good competition when it comes to offense aside from the Buffalo Bills, we're still able to contain weak tier teams. And I believe the New England Patriots are a weak tier team. So as long as the offense can step it up and can at least score 17 points, I think the Dolphins can come out with a dub. I say the Dolphins win 17-10.
Wow, man. I can't believe you're still thinking the Dolphins are gonna actually win something. I'm impressed, man. I mean, you are sticking to your guns and you think this Dolphin team is gonna turn it around, but Kudos to you, my friend. Kudos to you. I wish we could say the same, or at least I could say the same. I don't see it happening. Um, Chad said, or Josh said, hire Dave Wanstead him. I mean, honestly, I think he did better. And then, no doubt, Josh is just as delusional
Let's
as
go,
Mister
Josh. Let's
10
go,
and
baby.
10-7. And then no doubt said, I fully expect to lose to New England. Absolutely. So no doubt is on my side. Josh is more on your side. So we'll see what happens. We'll go ahead and we'll make a decision. We'll tune in. I'm gonna see if I could stream the game, my reaction, this weekend. So if you guys, I want to try that. Might just go ahead and go live and just my reaction to the Dolphins game while you guys are watching the game. So
And mind you, we're getting back Fuller from concussion protocol. We're getting back Armstead from concussion protocol, so that's gonna help out the O line a little bit better. Hopefully, Mostert can find a way to get back on the line, and maybe he can squeeze in and play for us. But there's some good, and maybe Mo Kamara breakout game. Let's see. We'll find out, man. We'll find out. Is this a 1 p.m. game or is this a 4 p.m. game?
against the New England Patriots, I can tell you right now. Hold on, New England versus Miami. I believe it's at 1. This game is at 1 p.m.
Okay. All right.
All right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's favorite time for some of you guys. Not for
Oh,
me.
let's go.
So we got a lot to talk about here, bro. We got a lot to talk about. I want you guys to chime in as well. You guys know that I'm a Florida Gator fan, so I would never be rooting for the University of Miami. But yet these pesky Canes keep figuring it out a way to win. So first and foremost, let's do our breakdown of how all of South Florida did, right? Because that's what we do. That's what we like to share with you guys. Some of our Florida teams out there besides just the Canes. So first and foremost, okay, so we had the Tuskegee Golden Tigers of Alabama and Edward Waters. I think that game was the one before, so I don't think that one was this week. I think they had a bye, so I don't think that was that game. Florida State did go against SMU and SMU beat them 42-16. Sir, talk to me, man. What did you think about SMU beating Florida State?
This is crazy, man. This is SMU's ACC debut, and it was a hell of a debut, man. They handled business against these Florida State Seminoles that just don't look in sync. They don't look like they can play, and they just gotta get rid of DJ, man. Just please go put in the rookie, man. Let the rookie cook, and then we'll work on for next year. But for now, the Florida State Seminoles, they're 1-4. Doesn't look good at all. I don't even know if they're gonna win another game. The Gators actually have a better record than Florida State.
Hey, man, don't disrespect the Florida Gators. At least the Gators have done some stuff out there. I didn't think we were gonna be good at all, but technically, I mean, we did what we had to do, bro. We did what we had to do, and we're at least doing something better than before. Okay, so now FIU, they went ahead and they went and beat Louisiana Tech. I want to make sure that this game was on the last one that they played, September 28th. Yep, that was this past weekend. So yeah, so FIU, sir, your other school is delivering more than Florida State, sir. Are you
Hey man,
officially?
I'm proud of these Golden Panthers. They're able to with Pitbull Stadium, baby. They've been playing pretty good at home, so hopefully they continue this run.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm trying to see if this game was out because some of these games might look repetitive. Okay, no, this game did happen on Saturday, September the 28th. So we had Florida Atlantic destroying the crap out of Wagner Seahawks. So Florida Atlantic, they were able to go ahead and win 41-10. Colorado defeated UCF. So the Knights going down to what's this guy's name? I forgot his name now already. Deion Sanders and his Colorado
Prime,
prime time.
Coach Prime.
Another team, West Florida, up in Pensacola, where our sister's at. Those Argonauts keep struggling out there, and they lost to Grand Valley State, Alabama State, and Bethune Cookman. Bethune almost pulled it out, but unfortunately they lost 26-21. South Florida could not, bounce back. Another loss for South Florida. They lost to Tulane. And last but not least, the highway robbery that we saw on Friday, which was,
Robbery? What?
sir, you heard me correctly. The highway robbery that happened this past Friday. We had robbery. And if you guys on the chat board agree with me that this was a robbery, please go ahead and share it. No Doubt says FSU versus FIU, who wins? I got the Panthers. I think so too, man. I'll be rooting for FIU. I like Florida State, but I like better FIU. I went to FIU. I did some classes up in FIU, so I'm a FIU fan. All right, so let's talk about these pesky Canes, right? You guys know how much I love them. So you guys always keep criticizing me and telling me, Frankie, you talk a lot of crap and all that stuff. You know what happened. You see the video. Are you dumb? Do you not notice it? And all this stuff. Okay. Well, let me show you guys something, okay? I'm going to show you guys something I saw and I found. So here we go. Let me share this with you guys. Okay, there it is. So you have the play. That was the play Friday night where it was a Hail Mary, and there you go. And you saw the Canes fighting for the ball with the Virginia Tech players. And obviously you see the Canes going and running, thinking that they won, of course. And then, of course, the stadium starts lighting up their, like, turning on and off their lights after they score. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you guys, okay? Take a look at this. So you see the football there, right? Number 9 and number 12 are both fighting for that football, along with the University of Miami cornerback. I don't know what his name is. Look at number 9. He holds on to that ball. Look at that. You see it clearly there that he holds on to the ball. And then, of course, there's a stupid referee who got paid by the University of Miami to go ahead and favor the University of Miami and give him that call. Let's not forget that this guy right here took 10 hours to go ahead and overturn this call. Now, if you guys look at this very clearly, and I'm going to rewind it for you guys, all right? Because you guys are saying, oh, Frank, you're full of crap. You're just a hater. Look, there's the ball, right? There it is. The Virginia Tech guys, number 9 and number 12 have the ball. This is the Virginia Tech hand right here, bro. This one right here. This is his arm. This guy has it right around wrapped as well. So you have two guys wrapping that ball as it comes down. Here's the hand, right? He's trying to block it. He's trying to knock it down like that, right? But if you keep going, he doesn't knock it down. The ball is right there. They're both, the Virginia Tech player and the University of Miami player both have that ball, technically. And if you look at it, the Virginia Tech player lands with it on his like area, like his, like, I guess you could say kind of his stomach area. And he has it right there. Look at that. And number 12 is there. And he's already sitting down, because you can't go ahead and say, hey, look, he's out of bounds. Look, he's sitting down. So that's already a catch. How you guys, you fans were coming at me saying, yo, Frankie, you're just a hater. Didn't you see? Even Big O went ahead and told me, Frank, are you blind? It's not even funny anymore. Are you seeing the video? The video clearly shows that blocked that, and the Virginia Tech guy did not catch the ball. What is this? This is proof showing you guys that the University of Miami went ahead and got lucky once again and was paid. They paid the referees, and the referees went ahead and overturned that call. I'm pretty sure. I hope whoever this guy is right here, whoever this referee is, if you guys know who he is, I want you guys to send him a message. Hopefully he's on Twitter or on X or on Instagram. I'm going to try to look for this guy, and I'm going to try to have him on the show. And I'm going to ask him straightforward, hey, man, how much did the University of Miami pay you in order for you to overturn that call? Because that's exactly what I saw. Highway robbery from this guy. What do you think, Nick?
Look, I honestly feel like it wasn't a catch. I'm not a fan. I'm a FIU alumni, and I'm an FSU Seminole, but I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't a catch. Why do I say that? Because he didn't have complete possession all the way through. It was bobbled, and
it landed in his stomach.
If you look at other angles, because I saw that replay like 30 times. If you look, he had one hand on the ball, but the other hand was awkward. It wasn't even like wrapped around on the ball. Like it just felt like the ball was, like you said, it was held by his hand and his abdominal section. I get that. But when you
As a
kind of look,
catch.
but where I do agree with you, and this is where it gets controversial for, I guess, for the fans. The referees called it a touchdown, and you need significant evidence to show that that wasn't a catch. And to be honest with you, man, it wasn't enough evidence for me to feel like, hey, this is something, he didn't catch the ball. It wasn't enough evidence. It should be overturned. And that's where I'm not going to lie to you. I have to agree with you. The refs there kind of bailed out just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit.
And no, and this is a great angle here. What the hell is number 15 doing? Number 15 or 25, whoever this player is, and then number 29 or 19, whoever that is, what the hell are they doing? They're nowhere near that football. Like that's how incompetent those two quarterbacks were in this Hail Mary. Again, I'm not trying to hate on I'm just saying they had no reason to win this game. They should have lost this game. And I just feel like this is highway robbery. You want to go ahead, Nick, and say that that wasn't a completion and all that stuff. If you don't want to share with us on camera, you want to share with me afterwards, just let me know how much paid you for you to say this on Let Me Talk to You. It's okay, because if you got paid, just like the refs got paid, then just let me know, sir. You don't have to tell me on camera. We could talk about it afterwards. But the highway robbery was done. And I'm telling you right now, the University of Miami will be losing on Saturday versus Cal. They're playing in Cal. It's a late night game. It's at 10:30 at night, baby.
That's
10:30 at night. So you have Florida State playing, I think, at 7 or 8, and they're showing that game. And then you got at 10:30 at night, baby. I'm gonna be tuning in. I should, you know what? As a matter of fact, I might just go live. I just might do a Florida Gator doing a Miami Hurricanes reaction live on YouTube and X and Instagram and all that other stuff. I might just do it. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This team, it's getting hit with injuries too, bro. Both offensively and defensively. And right now, even though Cam Ward is the show, he's the man of the hour, the man of the show. Man, it really gave kind of like a wake up call. But this is where the schedule gets tougher and tougher and tougher. So hopefully can squeeze out a win in California. But in the meantime, it will be a tough game for them this coming week.
Josh, you keep telling me, Frankie, get over it. I can't get over it, because when you have a highway robbery like this, it's you can't go ahead and get over some ridiculousness that happened, bro. It's devastating. I'm not even a Virginia Tech fan. I'm not. Imagine if I was a Virginia Tech fan. Do you see how upset I would be, man? I would be furious. I would be like, yo, we got screwed over. And
I'm not gonna lie to you though. That Virginia Tech quarterback was cooking, bro. He was cooking. There was one play where he scrambled, went to the right side, and just threw a dart right in the middle for them to take the lead. But it was, let me see, play right there. Boom, boom, boom.
That's a hell of a throw too.
No, that quarterback is good, man. He's good, bro. He's not bad at all. You see, it's just too hard. It's too hard to say that wasn't a catch after it was called a catch. But hey, it is what it is. We'll see what happens now with Cal. Still looking pretty good, and maybe you'll throw a after party once you see lose, if they lose.
And then look what they do. They turn off the lights. The celebration, like if they won. Like, look at this. Look at how they line to the fans. And you want to know something? When I place this right here. Take a look at the girl in the back with the white shirt, and the guy with the green shirt, and the guy with the white shirt, and the girl sitting down holding the baby. All those are fans. They should be ashamed of themselves. They should be out of that damn stadium and not rooting for You want to know why? Because when the Dolphins played on Monday night, the game, they gave free They gave something free to the fans. You want to know what they gave the fans, the Dolphin fans? They gave a crappy hat of the University of Miami. I would have it for you. I really would. Because I was going to go ahead and I grabbed one. Of course I'll grab it. I was going to use it as toilet paper. But I had so much, I have toilet paper in my house. So I was like, I don't need to use it. So you want to know something? The person I went with, shout out to my girl Maris. She was out there with me. I went ahead and she lost hers. So I said, Amaris, here, have my shit. I'm not going to wear this shit. This is crap. That goes to show you how many fans of the University of Miami actually went to this game, that they had leftover hats of UM for the Dolphin fans. Can you believe that shit? That's how disgrace the fan. That's how much the fans believe in this UM team, that they don't even go out there and show. They had an overflow of hats of UM and they gave it to the Dolphin fans on Monday night. Can you believe that crap, Nick? So those 4 people that are back there, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should not be at that UM game, just like all the other UM fans don't even show up at that stadium. Do not go to that. Look at that poor baby, bro. Look at that baby of that little of that lady. Look, that baby's sleeping. That baby should be at home sleeping, not watching that piece of crap of UM.
Sir, you're like that baby. You're crying like that baby, sir. That's what you're doing right now. You're that baby, and and right now you need that comfort. You need that love, but you're crying right now like that baby, sir.
So you want to know something? That baby is being. Not only is this a highway robbery for Virginia Tech, I would have gone ahead and called Child Protective Services and gone ahead and taken that baby from that lady, because I would have said, look, lady, Child Protective Services, that kid is being taught the wrong thing. That kid is being taught to go root for the University of Miami football team, and they suck. And you should take that baby away from that lady. Give her to a family that cheers for the University of Florida, for FIU, for Florida State. I mean, at this point,
Cookman,
give it to Bethune-Cookman. Give it to the Pensacola team. That Pensacola team. What was the name of that Pensacola team? They're called the. Hold on a second. I got you. The Pensacola. What is it?
Anglers over there.
Hold on a second. Where is that? West Florida Argonauts, baby. Located in Pensacola, baby. Those Argonauts. I would root for those Argonauts before I root for that University of Miami team. I'm just letting you guys know right now, you guys are going to lose. The University of Miami is going to lose this weekend. And when they finally lose, I'm going to be so happy. And watch, I will be there, sir. I will be going ahead live and going ahead and showing you guys how exciting it is to see you guys finally lose, because you guys have all this hype that you guys are really good. And when you actually faced a team that was decent, look how hard you guys struggled this weekend. So enjoy this highway robbery. Let me know how much you guys paid those referees, and we'll see what happens. So that was my rant of the University of Miami, and I do see them losing. Now, let's talk about this week.
Great job, No Doubt. Look at No Doubt what he wrote right now. He said, my daughter's a Fins fan. She's 6 years old. Fully committed, sir. Fully committed. Don't feel bad, baby. You got this. Right way. That's what I'm talking about.
You want to know something? I'm going to tell you something, guys. If I ever have kids, my kids would not be UM fans. I'm telling you right now, my kids are going to be Florida Gator fans. And even if my kid decides to get accepted to the University of Miami, I'm going to make my kid go ahead and apply to other universities. And I'm going to tell them, don't go to UM, man. Just don't do it. It's bad. It's bad for your health. It's bad for school. Just don't do it. You could go anywhere. You want to go study in Europe? I'll even pay for your flight and all your education in Europe, but you're not going to UM. That's how much I care about my child not going to the University of Florida, not going to the University of Miami. Now, let's talk about the games this weekend. Obviously, we got a big game this weekend, sir, for the Florida Gators. We got UCF, baby. UCF against Florida. What do you think, sir? Do you think the Gators will go ahead and beat those other pesky Knights out there?
It depends. If they're playing Orlando, I still think Florida's going to finish. If they're playing in Gainesville at the Swamp, the Gators are going to handle business.
The game is Saturday at 7:45. UCF is 3-1. The Gators are 2-2. And yes, the game is at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, sir. So you think the Florida Gators will win then?
Yeah, I say 24-21.
Okay. I have the Florida Gators beating UCF 48-21. 48-21.
Damn, 48 piece.
They're gonna
Jesus.
drop. They're gonna drop 48 on them. They're gonna drop 40 on those UCF, just like Colorado did. The Gators will do the same to them. We got a big game, sir. We got a big ass whooping happening over there in Doe Campbell Stadium. You got Clemson, the number 15 team, going against Florida State, sir. I'll go first on this one. I don't see how Clemson loses this game. This is gonna be a disaster. I say Florida State loses 31-7.
Man, this is a bad fucking season, bro, for Florida State. I'm sorry, man, but I don't see Florida State winning this game. I see them losing 30-10.
Okay, 30-10. Damn. You kind of see it the same way that I see it, man. I mean, again, it's not too hard on them. And then obviously the game that all of us will be tuning in because we want to see them lose. That is, of course, the University of Miami going 1-on-1 against Cal at 10:30 at night, sir. What do you got? Who do you got winning that game, and what is your score prediction on that
It's going to be a tough game for the Canes. Obviously, travel time, difference time, it's away.
one?
But I'm not going to lie to you, man. I still think Cam Ward is going to find a way to win. And I have the Hurricanes winning. This isn't going to be a close game, bro. No, you know what? No, it's going to be a close game. I'll say 27-20. 27-20 Hurricanes.
Okay. I honestly feel that Cal will take it to UM. I think they're going to go ahead and punch them in the mouth. I think UM is going to struggle because of the time change. Obviously, they got to go all the way to Cal. So it's a 3-hour difference that they're going to be lagging a little bit out there because every time anybody that goes from the East Coast to the West Coast, it's a pain in the ass. It's never fun. I say the Canes struggle with that. I say the Canes they don't find a way to overcome a fourth quarter deficit. It's going to be close, but I say the Canes lose 24-14 to Cal at midnight. And reaction, baby, reaction will be fun. I could finally gloat. I could finally go ahead and say, you pesky Canes fans, I told you, you guys were not that good. And it's the truth. Sorry. And then no doubt said, Josh says, damn, Frankie, what did UM did to you? It's not, I told you, I will never forget the year that I went to go see the Florida Gators versus the University of Miami at the Orange Bowl, and we were winning. And when you guys came back, the fan base was treating me like shit, me and my dad, and they started throwing beer at us. They started doing whole cursing at us, taking the bird. Ever since that day, I vowed that I would never root for the University of Miami. And even though I do like Mario Cristobal, I do like him, I will never root for the University of Miami unless it's for the benefit of the Gators. So, like, let's say they're playing a team that's in front of the Gators, and we need that team to lose. Then I would root for the Kings to beat them. That way, the Gators can move ahead of them. Something like that, you know. No doubt says, you think Clemson only scores 31? Nah, bro, they're putting 50 on us.
Damn, no doubt. Give us some hope, no doubt. Damn, bro.
Man. Now let me ask you guys something here, guys. What do you guys think? Who is the worst team right now in Florida? Just the state of Florida.
Florida
Is
State.
it the Florida
State.
State? Is it the Miami Dolphins? Is it the Miami Marlins? Who else is another team playing right now? Is it the Gators? Because we're not the best
Yeah,
either.
man, Florida State, bro. Biggest disappointment.
So you think Florida State is a bigger disappointment than the University of Miami?
No, because University of Miami are undefeated right now.
No, I'm saying, my bad. You think Florida State is worse than the Miami Dolphins?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wow, really? Damn.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, they both only have one win.
Frank, you know what it is to be undefeated one year and then then already be out of championship contention the next year, bro? At least with the Dolphins, we had some sort of concerns, like, okay, we're missing these pieces, you know, but bro, the Florida State Seminoles, man, it's just bad.
They're not missing anybody. They just suck that bad. FSU's bigger meltdown than the Fins. Okay. Hey, man. You got to go with somebody that's name is no doubt because
And you know, and you know what
First
might be a bigger meltdown? The fact that Inter Miami was winning 3-0, and now they're only down. They're only winning 3-2 right now, sir. Only winning 3-0.
great way to jump into the segment of soccer. And of course, sir, talk to me, man. What is that score? What is going on over there with Inter Miami? What is happening right now?
I don't know if you noticed, but the chat was exploding when our boy Inter Miami Messi scored 2 back-to-back goals before the half. It was 2-0. Then went ahead. Luis Suarez went up, tallied up the scoreboard. It was 3-1 because Rossi has scored for Columbus. And then Cucho got a granted to him, so he converted the penalty. But then one of the guys from Columbus Crew, Camacho, he just received the red card in minute 64. So right now, the Columbus Crew is down with 10 men. They are still holding it down. It's 82 minutes into the second half. Inter Miami is literally more or less 14 minutes away from actually achieving the best record in the MLS.
Wow. And it's impressive that Inter Miami, the red card was given to Rudy Camacho at minute 63, and it's what, like minute 82 or something, somewhere around there, and they still have not been able to score a second goal. I mean, a fourth goal with 9 guys, with 10 guys out in the field. Just crazy. Josh says this is BS. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Inter Miami's defense does suck. Absolutely. They're not a very good defensive team, but they're top heavy in the offense. So if they're top heavy in the offense, they should have at least scored 5 or 6 goals on Columbus. But Columbus has always been like a team that gives Miami a run for their money, and it's not
especially that they're playing over there in Columbus, right? I mean, we just can't ignore the fact that Columbus Crew, they literally played a final. Obviously, they lost against America in that final, but they were in the final for that cup. They literally won the I think it was the Shield Cup or whatever it is that they won a couple of weeks ago, and they won the league last year. So it's not like Columbus Crew is a bad team. It's Cucho's playing really well. So right now, Inter Miami's hanging on by a thread, but I think they'll pull it off. I think they're gonna park the bus here.
Hold on a second. There is a penalty kick that has been given to Columbus Crew. Cucho kicks it, and it is blocked by Chandler. Chandler just saved Inter Miami and blocked Cucho's penalty kick. Calendar with the save.
Wow.
What a save by Calendar. Drake Calendar.
Our boy. Wow. Damn, horrible kick by Cucho, though.
Look at that right there. Boom, and gets blocked. A Calendar with the save. How is it possible that Miami is struggling against a team that is down a guy? Man, does Miami
remember, sometimes certain teams, when they go down one man, sometimes 10 men can be dangerous. In soccer, 10 men can obviously move the ball as well and can probably even defend better. So soccer is very interesting, even though you're down 1 man.
Yes, sir. Any other thing you want to talk about when it comes to my soccer? I know there was some Champions games going on today.
Yeah, unfortunately, after I want to say 33, 34 games unbeaten, Real Madrid finally fell down and lost. They got their first L today against Lille in the second Champions League schedule. You had Mampe come in the second half, and it wasn't enough. Even though we thought, or the fans thought, for Real Madrid that they were going to not see Mampe. Mampe's injury was not as severe as everyone thought.
Yeah.
It was a close game, but Lille had a game plan. They scored first, and they parked the bus. They said, "Fuck that shit." They're gonna just hold the ball, play as much defense as they can, and they were able to get the opportunity. And obviously, Courtois is not in. Lunan, even though Lunan is a great backup, he hasn't played all season, so he's a little rusty. And it's okay. At the end of the day, it's still a second game. We move on. Other teams that won today, Bayern Munich lost. Aston Villa with a big win in Villa. by our boy Duran, the Colombian. This is his sixth goal in 7 games. He's only played like 180 minutes and he already has 6 goals. There's other players that have played more than 300 minutes and have 1 goal. So right now, Super Sub Duran is playing really good for Aston Villa. Um, I know Borussia Dortmund right now is number 1 in the standings.
So let me give you a quick rundown of what the scores were for today. Aston Villa won 1-0 against Bayern. Dynamo tied with Monaco 2-2. Real Madrid obviously lost 1-0. Club Brugge, they won 1-0. Juventus, with a man down, beat Leipzig 3-2. Liverpool beat Bologna 2-0. You had Feyenoord beat Girona 3-2. Benfica destroyed Atletico Madrid 4-0.
Di Maria effect, baby. Di Maria effect.
Damn, okay. We have Atalanta beating Shakhtar 3-0. And Arsenal, this is games from yesterday. Arsenal beat PSG 2-0. Inter Milan beat Sevena 4-0. AC Milan lost to Bayern Leverkusen 1-0. Man City won 4-0. Barcelona won yesterday 5-0 against the Young Boys. PSV and Sporting tied 1-1. Dortmund beat Celtic 7-1. Sparta and Stuttgart tied 1-1. And Salzburg lost 4-0 to a team called Brest. I don't know who that team is. Never heard of them. But very interesting right now.
I believe Brest is a Russian team.
Damn, Columbus Crew is on the verge of tying this game. Jesus Christ, this is rough. Now let me show you something, guys. Before we go, I wanted to show this because Nick was talking about the standings. So since I have this pulled up, I might as well show it. And let me see if I could move this down. Does this go down anymore? No, I guess not. I guess this is the way it works right now. So right. So this is Champions League. Why is it not letting me scroll down? Is there more? I guess not. I guess this is the only thing. Hold on. Yeah, because I don't see all the teams. I only see up to 12. So maybe, why is it not letting me? Hold on a second, guys. Let me stop sharing for a second. Let me see if I could. Yeah, it is all of them. But hold on. Let me refresh it. Let me see if I could get this right. Okay, now it's working. Okay, so let me share this again. Sorry about that, guys. It was acting stupid. I don't know why. All right, so here's the league. Here's where we're at. So what my brother, Dortmund, obviously they've won. I guess this team Brest is not bad. They've won 2 games as well. Benfica, Leverkusen, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Juventus, Man City. Well, no, Man City actually tied 1. And then I keep saying Inter Miami because Inter Miami's playing right now. Inter Milan tied 1. Sparta tied 1. Atalanta, Sporting, Arsenal, and Monaco. So the teams that are somewhere in the middle, here we got Bayern, Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, Celtic. Let me look at the teams on the bottom. Any surprises down here with 2 losses? Leipzig, Girona, Milan, Salzburg, Young Boys. Okay, so if I have to go ahead and choose, Nick, which one's a big surprise for me that have lost back-to-back games? I would say it's AC Milan and then Leipzig. Those are usually 2 teams that do pretty well in Champions League play. What about you, sir? What do you think it's a big surprise seeing down on the bottom of the table here?
I would probably, if I had to pick from 25 to 36, I definitely got to go with AC Milan. I think AC Milan is a talented team, and they should have been making some more noise. Obviously, Girona is a young team, but La Liga is a very strong league, and they always saying that La Liga is probably the best league in the world. So
I don't know about all that.
To see Girona be down there is a little bit shocking. And then if you move up just a little bit, Atletico Madrid, man. Atletico Madrid right now, I thought they would be a little bit more better, especially with the additions of Julian Alvarez. But it's still early. There's still 6 games left to kind of situate where the standings go. And I really like this right now. I really like what they've made out of this new format because it makes each game important. You know,
Hey, what do you think about the top of the standings? Who has surprised you of those top 8 teams? I guess you could say that are up there.
obviously the most surprising one there is that Brest team. But if
Yeah,
I had to,
where's that team?
but
Where's
if
that team located?
I think that team is from Russia, and if not Belgium, one of those two.
Impressive.
It's either Russia or Belgium. Um, but if I had to throw the top eight who's impressed me the most, I gotta say Ashton Villa, man. Ashton Villa has played really good soccer lately. Um, you know, Debu, even though I'm not his biggest fan when he plays internationally, but when he's playing with Ashton Villa, he's definitely has improved his game. I mean, before beating Bayern Munich, they beat the Young Boys 3-0, so that's why they're 2-0. So we'll see. I mean, I think that those are my teams that I feel were a little bit shocking.
Yeah, for me, I think the obviously Dortmund for me is a little bit of a shock. I know they do really well, but they win 2 games in a row, and that's not bad. And then that Brest team, bro, I have no idea who they are, but man, impressive that they won. I don't know what. Let me, you know what? I'm gonna go back one. Let me see who they played. Obviously, so they played, and we just mentioned who one of the teams that they
Oh, they
played.
actually play for France. They're
They
from League One.
So they beat who did they beat? Let me see. Was it yesterday? Yeah. So they beat Salzburg 4-0. That's what happened. And then before that, they played this crappy team, Sturm Grass or whatever, 2-1. So I mean, but it's still impressive to beat Salzburg. So Salzburg is usually a contender and champions. So that's not bad, man. Not bad. We'll see. We'll see what happens, sir. We'll see what happens. And right now, if you're tuning into the game right now, 92nd minute, Columbus just sent it over. They put 10 extra minutes. Are you kidding me? Wow. Wow, sir. 10 extra minutes. Talk about home field advantage. All right, sir. We want to go ahead and end the show. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Shout out to everybody on the chat board. Josh, no doubt. Who else was on here? Chad made an appearance. Steven made an appearance. Anybody else? Anybody else I'm missing? I know that was that one new person that I had not seen before. Hassan Terrell, thank you. Finn Sammy, also another one on there. I want to go ahead and thank all you guys for tuning in. No, that's so much soccer in Europe. How do these guys survive? Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's definitely crazy. I want to go ahead and shout out, obviously, everybody who tunes into the show. Obviously, next week we'll have our 1 year anniversary. It's crazy. 1 year has flies so quickly, Nick. Insane. Obviously, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to hit the like. Obviously, if you want to tune in and reach or get a hold of me and be a guest on the show, you're more than welcome to. Frankie Fresco is the tag. Just let me know. Nick, where can the fans find you?
You can find me at that way Nick on all social platforms, IG, X, or Twitch. Um, and I just want to say, thank you everybody who tunes in every Wednesday 8 p.m. We really appreciate your support. Again, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you can, also hit that subscribe. Brother, as usual, man, it's a pleasure always having another episode. And like you said, man, a whole year. I I I could feel like it was yesterday. We were like, "Hey, what do you think about us doing a podcast and just whatever we spoke hours on the phone? Why not talk about it with other people online?" And look, man, now we've been doing this now for a whole year, and it's been a blessing, and for many more episodes to come.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So to all of you guys out there, we appreciate it. What a save by calendar. We
Thank you, no
appreciate
doubt.
we appreciate it. And we will definitely see you guys next week. God willing. And to all you guys that love Tua, this one's for you.